The Budget Committee will now reconvene. We are holding this meeting in person and virtually. If you've joined us via Zoom for this meeting and are interested in providing public comment, we will explain how to participate shortly. I'll now open the public comment period to receive testimony related to the county budget. No testimony on any other topics will be taken at this time. Clerk, will you please moderate in-person and virtual testimony?
Thank you, Chair Cernak, and thank you for joining us today if you're a member of the public. If you wish to testify in person and have not yet done so, this is a reminder to please fill out a blue card that can be found on the table by my desk. Please deposit it in the box on the table, and I will call on them in the order that they are received. A note for those who are testifying in person today, when I call your name, I will call them two at a time. If you could both please come forward and sit at the testimony table. Introduce yourselves. You'll each have 3 minutes. You can see the timer both on the screen as well as the screens off to your sides. The first two names I have, and I once again would like to state, as I usually do, I apologize for any mispronunciations. Please help me and forgive me if I mispronounce your name. First, Mr. John Mullen, and second, Cody Blackwell. John Mullen and Cody Blackwell. Please come forward, and you'll each have 3 minutes. Mr. Mullen, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, members of the Budget Committee, for the record, John Mullen, I live in Oregon City. And for those of you who don't know me, just a little bit of background, I was involved in the creation of the Social Services Division, and I was director for 22 years. After retiring from Clackamas County in 2006, I went on to lobby on behalf of the Oregon Law Center and AARP for 13 years. So I'm still involved in advocacy at the state and national level. And in recent years, I've gotten involved at the local level. I stayed away because I thought it would be awkward for me to testify as a previous director. But I got concerned when I learned about the funding for the courthouse and the $15 million obligation every year to the budget to pay for the debt service for the courthouse. That's a concern. It led to a elimination of the RSVP volunteer program and the elimination of the rubric of the volunteer connection. I think that's short-sighted. I think we're going to find out we're going to need many more volunteers in the future. So I look forward to engaging in that at some other time. I do want to talk to a couple of things that seem to me to be structural. Your administrator talked about the fact that the Sheriff's Department makes up about 73% of the general fund. That's a concern on an ongoing basis and maybe a structural concern. I don't know when it's time to revisit the sheriff's levy and the enhanced levy as well for local law enforcement. But I think that, as well as looking at the potential bonding for the courthouse in the future, might be ways in which we can eliminate some of the pressure on the general fund. I want to specifically talk about health and human services. I don't get the acronym right any longer. Health, housing, and human services. The director, I thought, did a really good job talking about both the budget being reality and resilience, which I liked hearing about. She talked about aligning with local and regional goals. There's also going to be, and state goals, there's also going to be the problem of figuring out how to deal with the federal cuts that are coming, no matter what they are. I'm hoping that there will be community input. There was not community input about the cut of the volunteer program, and I hope that if cuts are considered or have to be considered, that you'll invite the public in to comment further on it. I think it'll be really important to get the views of the community on that. And as always, I appreciate the opportunity to testify before you today. And thank you for all of the work that you do. I know it's difficult and demanding times, and I wish you all the best in moving forward. Thank you.
Mr. Blackwell, go ahead, please.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Cody Blackwell. My role at Northwest Family Services is the Student Mentor Coordinator under the Children of Incarcerated Parents Program. So I work directly with the youth that me and my colleagues will be talking about today. When we respond to harm in our communities with punishment alone, we often end up fighting fire with fire. The consequences ripple outward into families, into schools, and across generations. Nowhere is that more evident than in the lives of children with incarcerated parents. These children are not offenders, but they often pay the highest price emotionally, socially, and in long-term outcomes. Our program is designed to interrupt that cycle, not with blame, but with support, mentorship, and opportunity. We focus on prevention, not just reaction, because prevention today costs far less than intervention tomorrow. We are not asking the county to take on this responsibility alone. We've already built strong partnerships with schools, nonprofits, and mental health providers. These alliances multiply our impact without multiplying the cost. We also rely on a robust network of skilled volunteers, community members who give freely of their time, though effective coordination and oversight do require administrative funding. That's what we're asking for today, targeted investment in the infrastructure needed to run this program well. Not charity, but strategy. Because the question isn't whether we pay, it's when and how much. If we don't invest in children now, we will pay far more later in juvenile justice, in social services, and in lost human potential. This is a moment to extend a hand and not turn our backs. With your support, we can offer healing, and we can offer healing where there's been harm and build a safer, healthier future for everyone in the county. And I brought today, this is a flyer that we use from the Children of Incarcerated Parents Committee with Clackamas County on it. And it says, when a parent disappears, who is there to turn to? In Clackamas County, we disrupt cycles of poverty and incarceration by standing by our youth. Collaborate, support, dignify. It takes a village. And I just hope that through continued funding, we get to continue to use this flyer. And I just very much appreciate your time and all the difficult decisions that you have to navigate. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Kanoan Longwell and Adam Shedders. Kanoan Longwell and Adam Shedders, please come forward. Introduce yourselves. You'll each have 3 minutes. Ms. Longwell, go ahead, please.
Of course. Hello, my name is Cannon, and I work for Northwest Family Services as a mentor and advocate for children of incarcerated parents within the SIP program. We are responsible, safe adults who provide group and one-on-one mentorship to some of the most vulnerable youth in our community. Statistics around children of incarcerated parents are bleak. They are exponentially more likely than their peers to become IV drug users, become incarcerated as adults, and die by suicide. This is not because our youth are inherently flawed. These statistics exist because there is minimal supportive infrastructure in these children's lives. Our children face domestic violence, problems at school, social stigma, hunger. When children are at SIP events, though, they get to just be kids, and the effect of the mentoring relationship in a child's life is truly incredible. We are one of the only programs in this region serving children of incarcerated parents. This specific intentional service is necessary to properly support these youth. We are designed to meet the emotional needs of children who have experienced this unique form of trauma. Despite the hardships our youth face, every single child in my program has an infinite amount of potential. My children want to be paleontologists and social workers and nurses. They care deeply about the world and want to be active participants in it, and we want them to be active participants too. I'll never forget driving a pair of sisters home one evening. They never miss a single outing. And these two little girls told me that they were so happy to be a part of this program because it meant that they got to have 4 moms. They have their biological grandmother, their biological mother, their mentor Kat, and their mentor Cannon. And Cannon, let me tell you all about my day. Here's what we should do together. And later at an IEP meeting, their grandmother told me that they open up to their mentors more than any other person in their lives. That is the impact that we have on our children. The mentoring relationship our program provides is an invaluable protective factor that seeks to ensure that our children grow into a thriving adulthood, and it works. The services our program provides changes the health outcomes for these youth. Every child needs an adult who supports them unconditionally, and for the children in our program, that is us. In the 15 years we've been operating, all of our youth have reached a successful adulthood. None of our youth are IV drug users or incarcerated or have died by suicide. I urge you to continue funding SIP because the 2 sisters in my program are on track to reach that thriving adulthood. All of the children in our program are. I know that we can continue to work together to serve this population. I know that our county values under-resourced children receiving services that interrupt cycles of trauma. I know that it is in our county's best interest to continue to support the most vulnerable youth in our community, and I know that our children deserve the support and services that this program provides. I hope that you all know that too. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shetters, go ahead, please.
Hello, my name is Adam Shetters, and I am a housing specialist in Clackamas County and a former participant of Northwest Family Services Children of Incarcerated Parents program. Children in this program are often missing core aspects of traditional childhood, such as stability, access to safe food, and positive role models. I joined the Children of Incarcerated Parents program when I was 13 years old. I want to share with you what it was like to be a mentee participating in this program. My main mentor is a very nice and soft-spoken person. Outside of the program, I had limited other male figures in my life who supported me in the way that I needed. Outside of program activities, my mentor and I connected over food. It was extremely important, especially getting through high school, to be able to go out and eat safe food with an adult who had my best interests at heart. We talked about my situation when we would do one-on-one meetings, and we would prioritize what I needed to get done to be successful going forward. We'd make a list of things like proper identification, a job, transportation, just basics. As we did this, it made me realize that I didn't need support on every one of my issues. It just was overwhelming to have all of them the way that they were. Midway through high school, I started working with a case manager from another organization to help me with skills that I needed to graduate. My mentor met with me and this other case manager. The three of us would meet at a coffee shop and compare notes and resources. It felt like I had an army, or at least two people, who cared at my back. I started helping with childcare at Northwest Family Services parenting class midway through senior year. It gave me stable income, which was a step for me to transition out of high school. I recently was promoted to housing specialist, helping former foster youth address barriers to housing. I urge you to find funding for the Children of Incarcerated Parents program at Northwest Family Services. To me, the program meant a chance to transition from a youth to someone who could hold a job. It meant the chance for food, the chance to socialize with other children in my same position, and the chance to build skills that are essential as an adult. It could mean this and more to other youth in the program with unique circumstances. This is your opportunity to provide support in the lives of our county's most vulnerable children. Thank you.
Thank you to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Cindy Fletcher and Ali Medikan. Cindy Fletcher and Ali Medikan. If you could both please come forward, introduce yourselves. You'll each have 3 minutes. Ms. Fletcher, go ahead, please.
Good evening. My name is Cindy Fletcher, and I am Deputy Director at Northwest Family Services. For 15 years, we have partnered with Clackamas County to support the county's most vulnerable children through our Children of Incarcerated Parents program. We provide a stable adult presence, educational and life skills activities, and mentorship to children who have a parent in jail or prison. We have learned that the county will not continue to fund this program past June, and we are here to urge you to reconsider and find the funds. Tonight you have heard from a couple of our mentors and a youth who participated in the program from the age of 13 through high school graduation. You've previously heard from the program's manager and Aubrey, who once benefited from the program and is now a peer support supervisor at Northwest Family Services. You have received letters from mentors, volunteers, participants, and staff. Hopefully these voices collectively will remind you of the importance of this relatively inexpensive program holds in the lives and futures of the county's children and the impact you can have. Our Children of Incarcerated Parents program costs just $200,000 a year to run, along with amazing donations from community organizations such as Angels in the Outfield and Bloomin' Boutique. The budget is lean and mainly funds staff We have a male mentor for the boys and a female mentor for the girls, a part-time administrative assistant who arranges outings, and a part-time program manager to support the staff and volunteer mentors. We are currently actively working with 33 children and youth, ages 8 through 17, and supporting 50 of their siblings by inviting them to outings and connecting them to resources, and being that caring, stable adult who listens and provides life skills and direction. Supporting 83 youth works out to just $2,500 a year per child. This legacy program empowers the youth to reach their potential. Yes, they all finish high school, but they also go on to become healthy adults, and not all of them work at Northwest Family Services, although we are very happy to have a number of brilliant youth joining our team. We recognize that budgets are tight and there are many demands on limited funds. We are actively seeking other ways to fund this program. We are requesting that the county fund $100,000 or whatever Clackamas County could contribute towards empowering our most vulnerable children to thrive into adulthood. Thank you for your consideration. Thank you for your partnership throughout the years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Medican, go ahead,
Thank you
please.
so much. My name is Ali Medican, and I came to the United States August 27th, 1978. I'm an immigrant, and I'm also a volunteer at Clackamas County Dog Services. I'm a dog walker. I'm going to speak out of the heart. And I've been a dog walker for the last 2 years in Clackamas County Dog Services, and I've been talking to all the staff out there, and today and every day when I go there, I go 3 days a week consistently, dedicate myself to that place. And unfortunately, we are short of staff. And I understand, I know a lot of you guys probably own an animal, own a dog, or own a pet, and I understand you also have a courthouse that worry about and other issues, but animals are also important. When I ask every staff member out there if we could do something to change here and make it better for all of us, every one of them said the same thing: staffing. It used to be the dog services have $2.4 million budget. 1.7 million of it comes from general fund. The rest of it comes from donations and other entity. And we need to do better. We need to change. How do we change this? I know their money is tight. I know the money needs to be spent in different areas. Dogs aren't as important as animals. I mean, as humans, I'm sorry. But the best way we can attack this issue would be through donation. The problem with it is we don't even have anybody who actively soliciting donation. Our website is not good. We used to have an individual who used to do that, and we're very successful at it. Unfortunately, due to the budget shortage, they had to cut the employee out, and we have 14 people working there, and they're amazing people. These people, a lot of people think people who work at the dog services, they are very lucky. They play with puppies all day and get paid. This is a very high demand, physically, emotionally. So the best solution I can come up with, we need to figure out a way to get more donation towards that entity. The only way we can do it to actively recruit donation. And I know, there's no money out there for somebody to work out there, but there are other ways that I hopefully be able to present you guys in the future to find out there is a way that we could help. We must help. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you both. This is a final call. If you are attending this meeting in person and wish to comment and have not yet done so, to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box by my desk. I will call on them in the order they are received. Mr. Chair, seeing there are no other members of the public who wish to comment in person today, with your consent, I'll now move to online. If you are attending this meeting virtually and would like to speak, this is your opportunity to please raise your hand, and I will call on you in the order that I see. Shirley, I see that you raised your hand. Shirley, I'll unmute you. You have 3 minutes. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, Chair Cernak and Budget Committee. My name is Shirley Morgan from Rhododendron. I have always supported Clackamas County Sheriff's Office and the men and women who serve. Most recently, I toured the jail and found it to be very emotional, seeing for the first time the loss of humanity, the victims left behind, and recently been touched knowing that one of the inmates was jailed there after killing his wife and 2 dogs in the Mount Hood area, not far from my home. I was also shocked by the unfailing condition of our jail, yet amazed at all the prevention programs. I toured the Safe Place Justice Center, a collaborative center that former Sheriff Roberts helped to orchestrate to help victims of domestic violence. I then toured Clackamas Substance Abuse Prevention Facility, which houses 80 beds, to help those who have been trapped in addiction, mental health, and family issues, which led to criminal behavior. I left with hope that day that there are alternative solutions. I understand that a deputy's badge is not only worn on his shirt, but he or she is protected by the equipment they drive, the clothes they wear, and the guns, tasers, phones, and cameras that help protect their lives. I've been listening to this year's budget meeting and find myself shocked at the same conversations about the sheriff's budget as were happening last year. I trust the sheriff when she says that she will be out of money at certain intervals. She is the expert of the department, and I trust Under Sheriff Eby and the skills of Patrick Williams, who all will expend the levy dollars that I voted for the best of their ability. I believe Clackamas County is on the road to Damascus, which means that there will be some moments of important insights regarding all county budgets as they face not only inflationary costs, but the added cost to build a 257,000 square foot courthouse without voter approval, therefore encumbering $15 million a year from all of our existing county departments for the next 30 years, with a total cost of $620 million. I wish this commission luck and support the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office budget, and hopefully we will see change this next year in supporting the Sheriff's Office. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a final call. If you are attending this meeting virtually and have not yet had the opportunity to do so, to please raise your hand if you wish to speak, and I will call on you in the order that I see. Mr. Chair, I see no other members of the public, either in person or virtual, who wish to comment today.
Thank you. I will now close the public comment. Thank you all for your comments. Does the committee have any further questions or discussion?
I do have some questions, Gary. Where were the dollars coming from children of incarcerated parents? It's kind of a legacy program. So was it under social services or where
It was in Health, Housing, Human Services that 2 years ago, it was a proposed cut as
Okay.
part of the cuts for the courthouse payment. The Budget Committee agreed. However, you did give bridge funding using ARPA dollars, American Rescue
Okay.
Plan Act dollars, to cover with the loss of general fund dollars. And this year is with the year that those ARPA dollars end. So previously it was general funds from Health, Housing, Human Services. As I advise you on all things, if you wish to reinstate that, you just need to tell me where you'd like to take it from.
Right, thank you for that. I just wanted to, that was my recollection, that we did give bridge funding, and whether or not we can, I just want to remind people as well that, remember, it's not just, we're going to be facing significant cuts across the board because of what's happening at the federal level. So I don't want to be doom and gloom, but I'm worried, frankly, that there's going to be more issues with funding across the board. So anything we can do to help our nonprofits help fill that gap in terms of, working to find other avenues for funding, I think we'd be willing to do so as well. I want to thank you for that, because the Children of Incarcerated Parents started back in I think 2005, and it was an idea that Debbie Marston, who has since passed away a number of years ago, that we started that program. And it did rest under the umbrella of, I believe, Children and Family Services for a long while. And we were grateful when Northwest Family Services stepped up to the plate to take it over. If we can't get any dollars at this point or find them, I wish you would contact me, and I will do what I can to help you fundraise, to help backfill that program. And would love to talk to you about other opportunities for dollars that maybe we can work with you. I will talk to you, Gary, about it, but I can't make promises. I hate to see, and as John Mullen said too, RSVP and Volunteer Connection were also legacy programs that, for a number of reasons, these were not easy decisions for this community to make, and it is a major loss for that. I think that as time moves on, we're going to have to depend more and more on the nonprofit communities and hopefully their ability to fundraise, and I'm more than willing to help step into that gap in a big way. If you would like to talk to me about it afterwards. And also, I'd like to just thank you for coming in behalf of dog control. As a woman that has rescued, as a commissioner who rescued 2 big black dogs from dog control, which were way too big for me, but they were beautiful dogs. My heart lies there too, and I still today I have two beautiful dogs. So I think. I don't know if we have any answers today. Maybe we can bring some of this up tomorrow when we have some discourse. But I hate to make promises because I can't necessarily fulfill. Now, there also used to be a nonprofit called Fido that helped with dog services. I don't know if they've gone by the wayside or not, but that might be another avenue to take a look and see what's available. So, but thank you all for coming. Okay, all right.
Commissioner West.
Thank you, Chair Cernak. Yeah, we talk a lot. I mean, we have the budget realities that we have. A previous board that is not the board currently bought a courthouse, and we can debate whether or not we like what we got, but clearly it's built, and so we still are obligated to pay for that. I didn't vote on that. Commissioner Helm, you definitely just got here, didn't vote on that. Chair Roberts, you were sheriff at the time, I believe, but you didn't vote on that. But we have to deal with the financial obligations we have. I fundamentally believe, though, the best bang you get for your buck is way downstream, and potentially it costs the county a lot more money if these children don't receive the intervention that they've been getting. And we have had a long history of being those that stand in the gap for those kids to make sure that they don't end up in a more expensive situation in our jail system, harmed or dead. And that's the reality. It's hard for me. I can't make this decision alone. Like, it's going to take a lift. It's hard for me to see the reality of understanding the value of where that dollar goes and how it's the most well spent. And now we're like out of a $2 billion, almost a $2 billion budget, this is where the axe is hitting, is a little rough when we keep preaching about prevention. It fits within our recovery-oriented system of care. It's the biggest crisis point that the voters care about the most in the Portland metro area, specifically around homelessness, substance abuse, criminality, public safety. And for maybe $100,000, $200,000, this is where the cut comes. And line item wise, we can't find.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like hitting hard right now. And I know that this is a legacy project that you've worked on for a long time, Commissioner Schrader.
That's why it's so hard to see this. But if you want to work on something, maybe we can find something. But Gary's right. If we're going to have to find something else, I'd be willing to work with you on that. Gary? I don't know, would be quick work, wouldn't it? Because we have
It's
some.
really a
up
discussion
tomorrow.
for tomorrow, not for tonight. But
Okay.
again, I got a lot of criticism from you all about the forecast being in the red. So you just tell me where you'd like to take the money.
Well, that's,
But then
yeah.
our budget
No, no.
prioritize our values, the budget's people. At the end of the day,
you
right?
criticize me for being in the red. So this is a conversation for tomorrow, but you can definitely discuss this.
No, and I realize that, Gary. I just, I know this is not your doing. And, I mean, you're doing your job the way you're supposed to do it to keep us in the black. So if we were to fund this, something else would have, we'd
But
have
I'll
to
say
figure
this,
it out.
like, I'll totally say this, correct, you're not wrong, but the budget's people and its priority, and we put our money where our priorities are. Our priority has always been prevention. Well, at least I haven't been here that long, since I've been here. And then what's the biggest, value added is getting ahead of it before it becomes a more expensive problem for the county. This is a cost savings overall. It just is. The things that I'll fight for on the budget are going to be right along this vein of what these folks do. We've already talked behind closed doors, Gary, and I can't do it alone. And I work with a great team here that has big hearts and also has to be pragmatic. But I'm concerned by specifically this legacy program that we've supported for many years.
Well, the thing is, Ben, it's our job to do that work and not, like I said, we're at the point with budgeting, and as I said, the dilemma we have, and it's a big dilemma, is that because we're going to be faced with this is not going to be the other round, I'm fully anticipating cuts coming for these kinds of projects we want. Because of, again, I think I'm really fearful the federal money is going to dry up too for the things that we already have in the pipeline. So how do we navigate this? But why don't we discuss it tomorrow? And but again, I've got to be careful that, I don't want to make promises that it's not about our values. We do value the same thing. It's where we find it, where do we find it? That's what the issue's going to be. So,
Mr. Karn.
Thank you. Mine is just really a comment. And I want to thank all of you, echo what I'm sure all of us here in this committee believe, is that you all took the time to come here tonight. On a nice, beautiful evening, you probably pretty easily could have been doing something else. As a citizen member of this committee, I just want you to encourage, for example, I volunteer and sit on this committee, consider it to be an honor, but you can make a difference. And so Adam, specifically to you, thank you for having the courage to speak in front of us. I'm sure it probably wasn't easy, maybe a little scary, but you can make a difference. So I just want to encourage all of you, thank you for taking the time to come here and fighting for what you believe in, because I really do believe that's the beginning of sometimes winning. So thanks for being here.
Chair Roberts.
Well, a little echo of what Jamie Karn, he's a former fireman. So I just wanted to say it was a very heartfelt testimony today. And I want to say that really struck the heartstrings of many of us up here. And we will have a robust conversation tomorrow. That's our commitment to you. I'm not sure where it's going to end up, but I know this is going to be a conversation we're going to talk about. And as kind of echoing Commissioner West, I really do believe on getting upstream and providing those services early on, because I do think it makes a difference long term. So thank you for your testimony today. And regarding the dog services, I want to say thank you for your commitment, which is huge, to volunteer, to go there every day. And it really shows you have a heart for animals, and we appreciate that.
I get more out of it than they.
So thank you. And I think that it was touched on. I mean, we are dealing with that building next door, the cost. And it is enormous, and it is, I will tell you, we've had seniors in here testifying about cuts to senior services that about breaks your heart. And unfortunately, we're at where we're at. We really have to look at what we can do to really get through this economic time, come up with some solutions, looking at other funding or whatever it might be, because we do recognize the services that you provide are important. So I guess that's the most important thing I want you to leave with is we realize how important your work is, and we want to thank you for it. So thank you.
Commissioner Savas.
I think it's been actually a couple days of some difficult testimony, starting with yesterday morning. I just say that along the last 30 or 40 days, you know, I've had a number of organizations or people representing organizations ask me, hit me up, and I'm over $1 million if you add it all together, right? I'm just made a short list of what I just heard in the last 48 hours for ask, and it's nearly $1 million. And I'm sure each of us have that. So I start adding it together, that's 2 million, that's 3 million, it's 4 million, and pretty soon, I mean, it's a lot of money. You know, I grew up really poor, and I'm the oldest of 7, and sometimes there's enough food only to feed my younger kids, and I just went to bed hungry. So through my whole life, I had to make a lot of tough choices, and they're tough. The courthouse, Craig and I have talked about that. I didn't vote for the courthouse. I thought there was a better way of doing it. Realizing maybe that the voters wouldn't support it, but I thought there was a better way to fund it. But you know, that's behind us. I can't change that. And it's not debt service. It's actually a lease payment. It's a 30-year lease payment that goes from 15 million to 16 to 17, and ultimately at the very end, about $18 million. So it's a lot more than 15 times 30 years. But you know, the board made a decision, and I've got to be a partner with my colleagues and support what it takes to make the cuts, and we've been doing that for years now. This is several years of making cuts. We used to have a fund where we set aside money, and we kind of gave it out to needy and nonprofits and so forth. Martha, you were here when we did that, you know. And now we don't have that luxury any longer, so to speak. It's not, you know, maybe luxury is not the right word, but there are a lot of tough decisions to make, and I'm using what Sandra told us earlier about the 55 multiplier. For every dollar, multiply times 55. So, you know, I just took a $50,000 request and did that multiplier, and it comes out to $2,750,000 at the end, which will put us in the red, right? So if I just think about the ask that I heard today earlier, and the ask that, and I haven't done the math on that, but it will put us several $1 million in the red. So, you know, here we are in this untenable position, and guess what? Next year will be even harder. And the year after, it's gonna be even harder. And that's just a reality. While the money we do have available and the services we are able to fund this year to provide, we would be taking it from one of those if we did something else. So, Gary, I'm not gonna put any pressure on you. I'm not gonna put any pressure on my colleagues, but I think the point's well taken. If you have an ask, you better figure out where it's gonna come from, because it's math. It's just simply math. And that's hard. It's really hard, because I was in a meeting last night, community meeting with some very upset people. And you know, they have wants, and they're a part of the community that hasn't got much of anything. And you know, I didn't have an answer for them, because I couldn't make a promise to them.
No, we can't.
I can't. I said, yeah, I'll help you fundraise. Just like you, Martha, I'll help you fundraise, and let's try to get a nonprofit put together to help this need. But I think it's gonna take a lot of that, and there are a lot of philanthropic organizations and people in this county that have been very generous over the years, and I think that we're gonna have to really grow that in order to meet some of these more urgent needs. I've said a lot. Chair, yield back.
Thank you. Ms. Lee.
Yes, and thank you all for your testimony, really appreciated it. One of the problems we have is we have lost our partners to a great degree. The federal government has cut state funding by 30% and has cut a lot of our program opportunities. And the state itself has a $750 million drop in its budget, so we're also losing some state money. But I trust that our manager will guide us into making some good decisions tomorrow. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Seeing no further discussion and no other business before this committee, we are adjourned. This committee will resume at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning following further deliberations.